night, November 15th, Nitro, and we kick off the show with a match. Now, I think the original thing of this was there was a pinata on the pole, I think was the thing here. I prefer my wrestling to be a little bit more serious. Yes, there's room for comedy in it, but I think there shouldn't be a match designed with comedy in it. Unless that's what it's set out to be, and it should not be like Viagra on a pole or something. Yeah, silly stuff like that. Okay, so the design for this is there's one last spot in that Mayhem match. So people have been like saying, I'm in the Mayhem match. I'm in the Mayhem match. And Ric Flair would say on the Thunder that we're going to open it up with the last spot in the Mayhem match. And the rules of he would be sitting behind in his office backstage where we go over the rules of that match. But for this match, Evan Karagias, Juventud Guerrera, El Dandy, Psychosis, Silver King, and a guy by the name of Johnny Boone, who I think was a jobber at the time. But Evan Karagias wins this match. So this is when we go to the rule. I think we'll have talked about the Mayhem match and how it's going to be 30 men, one ring, and it's going to be complete chaos. Now the rules of this Mayhem match would be it's 30 men in the ring at the one time. You can win by throwing guys out, but you can come to the ring with a weapon if you want to. I think I might even like, and when it gets down to the last two guys, it's a no holds barred match. You can only win by pinfall or submission after that. So yeah, it's kind of like in early days of TNA's gauntlet rules. Like you might even have it as a gauntlet match too. But with the amount of talent, the amount of matches I have before that, I think that would be a bad idea. But Brian Knobbs versus Bam Bam Bigalow. Bam Bam Bigalow goes over. It's a hardcore match. This is kind of all to set up the match that will be a hardcore, the hardcore title. I think at the match. Billy Kidman and Konnan team up to take on David Flair and Dustin Rhodes. Now, Billy Kidman would be out in the ring with Torrie Wilson a few weeks earlier, the Thunder, straight after the match where he's ambushed. He might even have like taped his belly or something, or taped ribs, so he wouldn't be wrestling. And he would be saying, I don't know what the deal is, David. Why you came back? You and I have never had a disagreement. You and I haven't really even talked backstage except for hello and how are you. So why did you come after me? And why are you teaming up with? And why did you and Dustin, who I wasn't even here when he last was here. Why was he attacking us? And he didn't even know Konnan would do. So they would come out and they would say, David would be stroking the crowbar. He would say, nothing. Billy, she used to be mine, and you took her from me. Now I might be a little bit slow getting payback, but you never had anything I wanted before. I never had an opportunity to take anything from you before this. But I want that belt. So while taking that belt might be enough for some guys, I didn't want to just take that belt because I wanted to. I wanted to take that belt because you just took her away from me. And attacking you and taking that belt would just be a bonus. You You got no choice now. I've hurt you. I'm going to continue hurting you. When I'm walking around here, the Cruiserweight World Champion. Because I'm going to be just like my dad, a world champion. And it's going to be happening sooner rather than later. And this guy, he knows the path I have to walk down. Because he knows what living in somebody's shadow is like. And he got out of that shadow. And so am I. Boom. And I think David Flair has enough stroke on the mic to get that over. And who better to show him how to get out of his father's shadow than Dustin? I mean, yeah. Meng versus Parka. Meng wins, but is hit by Parka hits him with a chair. And it does nothing, and Meng's like, Meng turns around, and Parka's like, bail. Then we have a rematch for the TV title. Chris Benoit versus Eddy Guerrero. Yeah, and that's it. Then the Harris brothers show up. Now I can't remember when the Harris brothers actually showed up, but they're gonna show up and they're gonna be their biker gimmick. They're gonna have their biker gimmick. They're not gonna be called Patrick and Gerald, which I never realized. Oh, that's the name of the Stooges. Yeah. Okay. Nudge, nudge. But okay, so they're going to be Ron and Don Harris. They're going to be bikers. And they're going to be the Enforcers. They're going to be... they're going to be the guys. They're going to be like Harris, the Harris brothers. And they're going to beat people up. And they start with Lenny, Lane, and Lodi, who I think was suspended or whatever at the time. I'm going to take them off TV just because they apparently gay. Fine, I'll have them come out and have them with a woman under each arm, because they were actually straight. Okay, so they're gonna be goofy guys, but they're gonna have women. Okay, so let's get over that. Okay, then we cut backstage. Curt Hennig does an interview where he says, yes, he's in the Mayhem Match, the 30-man Mayhem Match, and he says to Mike Tenay, who's conducting the interview, he says, I've been on a bit of a losing streak lately. I've been losing the top guys, and tonight I'm taking on Lex Luger. He says, yeah, I've been on a bit of a losing streak lately, and he says to Mike Tenay, I don't think I might not have it anymore. I might not have that thing that made me. I've been watching my old matches, and I had something there that I don't know if I've still got anymore. And if I don't win that 30-man Mayhem match, I might have to go away for a little while to find that. And Mayhem might be the last time you see me for a while. So you got to tune in to Mayhem, because it might be the last time you see Curt Hennig. It might be the last time you see it may set up Goldberg versus Bret Hart, which would be a dream match for some people. And you're like, what the heck? Oh yeah. Yeah. Other thing. Here, I just realised that I mustn't have done it there, but I've done it there. Bret Hart hasn't appeared on Nitro He's appeared on Thunder, but he hasn't appeared on Nitro. This is to set up some stuff later, except for interviews with Mike Tenay, which he wouldn't be here. But yeah. So, we have Booker T with Stevie Ray at his side. And he's taking on Berlyn. Booker T wins with the Ghetto Blaster, which was a scissor kick at the time or whatever. He takes on and he beats Berlyn. Berlyn signals to Stevie signals to the wall to pass him his cane. So I'm pretty sure he used to come up with a cane. He comes out, he hits Stevie Ray with a cane, and Booker turns around. He's like, "What the hell?" Boom, 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 boom. He's beating up on thing, and then the wall grabs him on the shoulder, turns him around, chokeslam. And Berlyn and the wall are standing over them like victorious, and they're like, yeah. And then we cut to backstage when Curt Hennig's come to the ring. He's throwing the towel, I think. I don't know if he had the towel, but yeah, he's getting ready. And yeah, Curt Hennig loses to Luger with the torture rack. Because I've been having Luger job to that guy, but Curt Hennig, yeah, he's... Yeah. The Outsiders have returned. I can't remember when they returned, but let's say they returned in great fashion, and this is their first real match back. They're announced. They both, I'm pretty sure, stuck them both in the 30-man Mayhem match. Yes, I did. So they both won qualifying matches for that. They're taking on Buff Bagwell and Rick Steiner, two other guys that are in the Mayhem match. They're gonna, and the Outsiders are gonna go over because I need to reestablish the Outsiders a bit. Sid versus Hugh Morrus, U.S Title. Guess who wins this? Sid. Sid's been a machine. He's been defending that U.S Title like crazy. But yeah, Sting is now okay. Now we go to the main event, which is Sting and Jeff Jarrett versus Goldberg and Vampire. So Bret Hart's been winning matches against some pretty top guys on Thunder, whoever we could get for Thunder. And yeah, Ric Flair, pretty impressed. So, and otherwise, been doing interviews with Bret as well on Thunder. Before each one of his matches, like the segment before where he's talking about his history in WCW. Going over quite the significance of his US title reigns. And he's been talking about Hogan too, and how, and the heat between the two of them, their time together in the NWO, and the fact that he's never really gotten a world title shot. And he said he's glad that's kind of changed. He was glad that Hulk had agreed to take him on if he had won that full brawl match, and that was going to be that was going to originally be if he had won for like in a shoot, so it's kind of a shoot work thing, like it's both shoot and work, and like he was going to come out and he was going to ask if he could have a match with me, Bret, at Halloween Havoc. Had he won at Full Brawl, that was going to be first time ever. It was going to be a big show in Las Vegas, or what could have been better. But yeah. So yeah, and then we have Goldberg and Sting versus Jeff Jarrett, and Goldberg and Sting and Jeff Jarrett versus Goldberg and Vampire. There. And yeah, that's match happens. Goldberg pins Jeff Jarrett. Well, you can get a certain height, Jeff, but guess what? You've gone to this Beast Goldberg, bang. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I think I can probably cover Mayhem in the time we've got remaining. So, cruiserweight title. Okay, David Flair versus Billy Kidman. David Flair goes over. Okay, so we have what we call the Hardcore Title Invitational. So, guess what that means? If you want to compete for the Hardcore title, feel free to come out. I haven't put the results into this one, but I kind of know what I want to do. Okay, now Bam Bam Bigelow goes over in the Hardcore Title Invitational. He's the first Hardcore champion. Now I know a lot of people. The original result was Norman Smiley over Brian Knobbs in what was like a Hardcore Title tournament or whatever the frack it was. But yeah. So, yeah, Bam Bam wins. Now, if you remember Mayhem, Tony Mamaluke, who was Tony Marinara, was there, and Disco was defending the title against Evan Karagias, and they owed him money or whatever. Well, you kind of bring up the fact that, like, if we could do some segments or something with Disco talking to someone on the phone before this. He was a little bit over in his gambling debts. Yeah. Disco's kind of in debt with these guys. He's been losing some money at the craps tables and stuff. He needs some money. And the way he's going to get that money is he's going to become TV champion at Mayhem. Now, unfortunately, he's got to face Benoit. No, wait, I got a better idea. Well, no, he's still on the same thing. He's in debt, and he loses the match. And, yeah, he goes to Tony Marinara, and he says, Disco says, after the match, Tony Marinara says, hey, unless you come up with that money, he says, wait. I can get it tomorrow night. I've got an idea on how to get it. And they're walking away, and Tony Marinara goes, you hear him go, yeah. Okay. So, that's the way we leave it there. So, then we have the four-way tag title match. I don't know why I put the result in here, but I didn't put it in earlier. Okay. Harlem Heat win the four-way, and in the four-way are Harlem Heat, Konnan and Eddy teaming up, Malenko and Perry Saturn, as well as Berlyn and The Wall making his in-ring debut. I think he might have been ready by this time, but if he weren't, he would be a bit of limited involvement, because you got plenty of guys there. U.S. title. Sid and Goldberg, no holds barred. So, during this match, some stuff happens, and Sid gets knocked out of the ring towards the end of the match. He reaches underneath the ring. He pulls out a taser and tasers Goldberg. He falls back. Oh, in the ring. Sid goes in, covers him. 1, 2, 3. Or you could have him go back and stumble and then he gets powerbombed 1, 2, 3 in the ring if you prefer it like that. Either way, Sid wins. He's retained the U.S. belt. So, Goldberg comes to. Oh, he's like, what the fuck? So he's like, what the heck? He goes backstage. We do the setup for the Mayhem match. Now, I probably, like, looking at this, I could probably do it gauntlet style and have it just end in a pinfall or a submission. But either way, when Goldberg comes out, he's still the walking wounded. So he might like if it were gauntlet style, he'd be one of the last ones to come out. Either way, it'd be like one of the last. Like it'd be the last one to come. Yeah. The taser would have been confiscated or whatever had this match really had that thing happen. So some of the participants in the 30-man. These are the participants in the 30-man Mayhem match. Jeff Jarrett, Buff Bagwell, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Dustin Rhodes, Sid, Goldberg, Curt Hennig, Lex Luger, Meng, Norman Smiley, Scotty Riggs, Vampiro, DDP, Jim Duggan, The Cat, Dave Taylor, Hugh Morrus, Brian Adams, Steven Regal, Jerry Flynn, Evan Karagias, Brad Armstrong, Chavo Guerrero Jr., Lenny Lane, Lodi, Ron and Don Harris, and the final participant, La Fucker. But Goldberg wins. No matter what, the ending would be spear, jackhammer, and probably the last guy in there would be, let's say, Jeff Jarrett. It'd be down to Goldberg and Jeff Jarrett. Alright, so yeah, something's wrong here. I just gotta change something up really quick. Okay, so then we go into the World Title match. Bret Hart and Sting with a special guest referee, Rowdy Roddy Piper. Bret wins. Big celebration in the ring, just as what happened. Yeah. So, I believe that is it. Okay, we're going to come back. We're going to have the fallout of Mayhem and the try and get everything done in one video for Starrcade. If we don't, I haven't got the epilogue yet for this, what I probably would have done. But I'll probably scrape together a couple of ideas in my head for what would happen at Sold Out. Yeah. So catch it when I get back.